It was Christmas Eve, 1945. The air was crisp in Fayetteville, West Virginia. Inside their home, the Sodder family prepared for the night. The youngest, Sylvia, yearned to stay up for Santa. Around midnight, Jenny awoke to a thud on the roof. Minutes later, the phone rang. George answered. A woman's voice asked for someone unfamiliar. The line went dead. A strange smell filled the air. Smoke billowed under the door. The house was on fire. Panic seized him. They escaped through a window. 5 children remained trapped inside. George screamed their names. The latter lay broken on the ground. Desperate, he clawed at the walls. The inferno raged, consuming everything. As dawn broke over the charred remains of the Sodder home, a wave of grief washed over the small town. The fire marshal began his investigation. The official cause? Faulty wiring. Yet, something didn't sit right. Numerous inconsistencies plagued the scene. The phone line, it turned out, hadn't burned through as initially thought. It had been cut, cleanly severed. Witnesses came forward with unsettling accounts. A curious detail emerged. A strange car parked on the road leading to the Sodder house. Locals recalled seeing unfamiliar men watching the children in the weeks leading up to the fire. The rumors began. Had someone deliberately set the fire? Was this a targeted act, not a tragic accident? The Sodders couldn't shake the feeling that something was terribly wrong. They clung to the hope that their children had somehow escaped the inferno. But as days turned into weeks, then months, the mystery only deepened. The authorities, however, remained unconvinced. They dismissed the Sodders' concerns, attributing them to grief and desperation. The case, they declared, was closed. The Sodders refused to give up. They hired private investigators, combing through every detail, chasing every lead. Years passed, marked by anguish and uncertainty. Then, in 1968, a glimmer of hope emerged from the darkness. Jenny received a mysterious envelope. Inside, a photograph of a young man, his face strikingly similar to their missing son, Louis. On the back, a handwritten note, Louis Sodder. I love brother Frankie. Elil boys. A 90,132 or 35. The Sodders were both elated and terrified. Could this be their son, alive after all these years? They hired a private detective to follow the lead, but the trail went cold. The identity of the sender and the young man in the photograph remained a mystery. Fueled by this newfound hope, the Sodders erected a billboard near the site of their former home. It displayed images of their missing children, offering a reward for any information. Years passed, and the billboard became a haunting reminder of the tragedy that had befallen the family. Tourists and locals alike stopped, their faces etched with a mixture of curiosity and sorrow. Section 4. A Mother's Unwavering Belief. Jenny Sodder never lost hope. She kept the children's bedrooms untouched, their toys carefully arranged as if they might return any day. She became the driving force behind the investigation, her grief transforming into steely determination. She tirelessly contacted authorities, wrote letters, and gave countless interviews, her voice trembling with both sorrow and anger. Some dismissed her as a grieving mother clinging to a fantasy. Others admired her unwavering love and determination. Jenny's spirit resonated with people across the country. The Sodder children's disappearance became a national obsession, featured in newspapers, magazines, and television programs. Theories abounded, ranging from the plausible to the outlandish. Some whispered of mafia involvement, others of revenge from disgruntled business rivals. A few even pointed fingers at a local cemetery worker, claiming he had confessed to burying the children's bodies. Yet, despite the countless theories and endless speculation, the truth remained elusive. The mystery of the Sodder children's disappearance endured, a chilling reminder that some wounds never truly heal. Section 5. The trail runs cold. Years turned into decades, and the case grew colder with each passing season. The authorities, despite mounting public pressure, remained unconvinced that foul play was involved. The official stance remained unchanged. The fire was an accident, and the children had perished in the flames. However, the Sodders refused to accept this explanation. They continued to investigate, their hope flickering like a candle in the wind. They followed every lead, no matter how insignificant it seemed. They pored over old documents, interviewed witnesses, and even consulted with psychics. Their efforts, however, were met with dead end after dead end. The passage of time, it seemed, had swallowed up any trace of their children. The lack of answers only intensified their pain, turning their grief into a haunting melody that echoed through their lives. The once bright Christmas lights that had illuminated their home now symbolized the darkness that had descended upon their lives. The holiday season, once filled with laughter and joy, became a painful reminder of their unbearable loss. The empty chairs at the dinner table, the silent bedrooms, and the faded photographs served as constant reminders of the children they had loved and lost. Section 6. Echoes in the Darkness. The mystery of the Sodder children remains unsolved. Time has not diminished the intrigue surrounding their disappearance. The case captivates the public, inspiring books and documentaries. Theories abound, but none offer concrete answers. The charred remains of the Sodder home stand as a chilling testament to the tragedy. The legacy of the Sodder children lives on in the hearts of those who loved them. Their story serves as a reminder that hope can endure.